Now, I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen people struggle making the same silly mistake trying to make mozzarella. Finding the right milk, finding the best rennet, only for your curd to come out subpar and you end up with mediocre mozzarella.
You know what you need here? Top-notch mozzarella maker, the best.
When you go out and buy fresh mozzarella that blows your mind, they're not making the curd themselves, they're buying it. Once you know that, the hardest part about this is finding good mozzarella curd. But I've got the fix. This is my 5-step guide to making great fresh mozzarella at home, anytime, the smart way. This video is not sponsored, but to get your mozzarella curd, there's one place that I've found that will easily deliver it to you anywhere, at least in the continental United States. That's Caputo Brothers Creamery. Now, what they do is they freeze and ship in dry ice these 1-pound mozzarella curd blocks, individually packed, frozen. I believe for $50, you get 4 of them. It's $12.50 per pound of mozzarella. Each one of these make like 2 balls, $6 a ball. I mean, we're in the same ballpark as buying it at the store. So what I'm gonna do is take 3 of these. I'm just gonna store them in the freezer for whenever I need them. The holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I plan on making this as an appetizer for both of those, which you're gonna be able to find in my holiday plan of attack, which is like my Mariah Carey album. Every year I come out and we promote the book, we add recipes to it. It's an ebook, you're gonna find a link down in the description. It'll set you up for your entire holidays, and people have been emailing me for years saying, thank you for this book. So we're gonna place that right here. And now we've got a pound of mozzarella curd. We need to defrost this. So I'm just gonna take a bowl, fill it up with like warm water. Doesn't need to be hot, above room temperature, 80, 90 degrees. We're gonna let that sit there. It should defrost in 30 minutes or an hour. Alternatively, if you were thinking ahead, take this out of the fridge yesterday. By today, completely defrosted, and you got mozzarella in 5 minutes, given your water is at proper temperature. So while this defrosts, I got a big pot of water, and I wanna bring it up to a very specific temperature. At Sunday supper, I do 180 degrees. It's a bigger pot, a bigger mass of mozzarella curd. At home, I tried 190 just to replicate you not using a thermometer and just bringing it under the boil. If you do this at 190, you're gonna cook the outside of the mozzarella curds too fast. The insides won't have time to sort of melt and homogenize, and the texture ended up grainy and just tough and not good. At home, at a smaller quantity, I think you can get away with between 170 and 180. And then I have a bowl to make the mozzarella in, and to cut the curd, I'm gonna use a wire rack that I'm gonna just place right over, and then use this to cut mozzarella curds evenly and melt them roughly in the same time. So it's been about 30 minutes, and as you can see, it's nice and soft. Our water is around 160. It's got a little bit more to go. While that comes up to temp, we can get our curd out the package. And this is step 3, stretching and forming the mozzarella balls. And as you can see, it kind of comes in this bundle, but it is sort of like kind of in these shards. So we're just gonna kind of tear them into quarters, and then right onto the sheet tray with our hand, press it through. Then you've got these nice, evenly cut pieces of mozzarella curd. Now, we have 1 pound of curd here. To every 1 pound of curd, I'm adding 2.5 tablespoons of salt, kosher salt. Seems like a lot, but imagine a lot of that getting sort of diluted by that water. I also have a bowl of room temperature water here, and I've added a few pinches of salt into that. So now that's a brine. When we make the balls, they're gonna go into that brine. That's gonna sort of help set and control the texture and the moisture retention. Now you're just gonna toss the mozzarella up, or the curds up, in that salt. Make sure every little piece of mozzarella is salted. Now our station is set up. We got our curd ready, our brine to shock them, to stop that heat and the cooking of the mozzarella, and our water, which is at 180. I'm just gonna let that cool back down to around 175. Now, a few things that's nice to have is gloves. I'm going to double glove here because that water is hot. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Now, our water is 175. Here's how this is gonna go. We're gonna add just enough at start to cover the mozzarella. Just like that, not too much, and we're just gonna temper it. We're gonna stir the curds together and allow the temperature to nicely, uniformly come up to a warmer temp. At this stage, it shouldn't be melting. It should almost just sort of be like weeping and bleeding milk out of the curd. We're gonna do this for for about 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, use a strainer, drain out that water. Add any curd back, and it's not melted yet. Now we go ahead and add in the rest of the water. This time we want to fill it up nice. Now we just kind of want to push it all together. There's enough water and enough heat in there, and the mozz is tempered that we just want to create and form a mass. And then we don't want to start stretching it, but we do want to pick it up and just gently lift it, let it sort of swoop down, pick it up, turn it, repeat it. Now we're stretching out all of the lumps that formed in that mass, homogenizing those curds and giving it that texture. But you only want to do these big, long stretches like 2-3 times max. Otherwise, you start altering the texture that you want. So I know it looks cool, but don't get carried away here. And then what we want to do is just kind of drape it onto itself. That's it. You don't want to go crazy stretching this thing. It's going to screw with the texture. And now we want to make, first off, some little bocconcini. So I'm just gonna start, and you wanna get your hand as tightly clenched as possible to pinch this off. So I'm gonna fold it onto itself, take it, and pinch. Now step 4 is properly shocking the mozzarella. And what I found is room temperature water works the best. Creating tension, pinching, and then sealing at the bottom. Now maybe that's hard for you. What you wanna do, stretch it, tie a knot, and pinch it, and you got a little mozzarella knot. And then to make mozzarella balls, just like the smaller bocconcini, you're just gonna do it bigger. If it cools down, just dip it back into the warm water, and just like a pizza dough almost. You're folding it onto itself, only to pinch it off at the bottom. And you have a beautiful ball of mozzarella. Now, obviously, I want you to eat this immediately, but step 5 is how to store them. Now, while the mozzarella chills for a second, I'm gonna dice up some fresh parsley into a bowl. A little chili flake. I'm gonna take our little bocconcini out and dry them. Add them into that bowl, some olive oil, and just give them a toss. Now you notice that they're chilled. They're firmer, but they still have a little warmth inside. I just like keeping the mozzarella in the brine just as long as it needs to stop cooking. So the bocconcini cool a little faster, the bigger balls, maybe 10 minutes. But when we cut inside, they still should be warm. And so now what I wanna do is keep one out, which we're gonna use now, then I'm gonna dry another one out, right? Gonna do this just to dry the skin out a little bit, just to protect it, because this one I'm gonna show you how to store. Now, I haven't quite figured out or cracked the brining and how to store this for like 2 or 3 days in a brine. And if that's what you're gonna end up doing, just go buy it at the store. This is so that you can have the optimal mozzarella whenever you want, which is eaten in the moment. You buy good mozzarella at the store, it should never touch the fridge if it was made that day. Otherwise, what you can do is dry this out until it's really dry on the surface, take some plastic wrap, place it face down, roll it up, and then tie it up. And that's what you're gonna buy at the supermarket, except you already made that. Let's cut into it and see the real test. If it bleeds milk, you know you did a good job. See all the milk on the bottom? It's set, but it's still warm inside. Just about 5 to 10 minutes in that shocking bath. It's about as practical as you get. Fresh mozzarella, anytime you want, the smart way. Now, as I said, the holidays are coming up. You wanna get this recipe, the method on how to prepare it, how to store it, all that. It's in my holiday plan of attack. It's not a book yet, it's an ebook now. One of the fans owned a printing company and just made one of one for me. It's the kind of nice things you guys do. Also, if you have not yet, check out my cooking school over on Patreon. We're having a good time over there. And also check out the last episode of Sunday Supper if you haven't, when you've seen me make this for the first time live for 100 people. That's all that I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.